Welcome to the MS-Perspektive podcast, Perspective with a K as I'm German. I'm Nele von Horsten, MS patient, patient advocate and author. I'm bringing you interviews, inspiration and information about living with multiple sclerosis and show you ways how you can positively influence the disease and make the best out of your diagnosis. On ms-perspektive.com you will find the show notes, 11 free tips as a PDF and lots of other information. And now the show begins. Thanks for tuning in again and welcome to episode number 82, Living with Neuromyelitis Optica, NMO, in Denmark with Leda Bresnov. Hello Leda, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show, and hello to Europe in Denmark, if I pronounce it correctly.
It is correctly. Hello, Nell. It's such a honor to be here talking to you today.
Yes, and before we actually start with the interview, it would be lovely if you could introduce yourself to the audience so they know who is with me on the show today.
Okay. Yes, my name is Leda. I was born in Brazil, born and raised in Brazil. I have been in Denmark for 32 years. And I came to Denmark because of my husband, of course. And 32 years later, we are still together. We have two children. They are not children anymore; they are grown-ups. A girl and a boy, and we have 2 dogs and a cat. We live in a house, and I have an education as a laboratory assistant. And that's a little bit about me.
Okay, sounds good. The grown-up children. So you filled in the spaces a little bit with the cats and dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So can you briefly share your personal journey with Neuromyelitis Optica, which is shortened NMO, and how fast or how long it did to get diagnosed and how it has impacted your life?
Yeah. I in 2018 I was busy. I was trying to build a career at my work. I was training a lot, running and teaching Zumba, doing so many different things. And from one day to another, I just started having numbness. From having numbness in my fingertips, and the next day waking up in a hospital bed and was paralyzed on the left side of my body, and had lost 80% of my vision.
Wow.
Yes, it took 4 months before I received the diagnosis NMO. It was a huge impact in my life. I had never heard about this disease before, and I didn't know what to expect for the future and how my life would be. And it changed everything in my life. Suddenly, I was not able to do the same things anymore, and I got fired from my job after 16 years. I had to restart everything and find this new life, how to live with a rare disease that makes you feel very, very alone, and not being able to do the same physical things that I did before. I had to make huge changes in my life. Let's put it this way.
Yes, I mean, I can imagine just slightly, but yeah, I can imagine. But okay, so there was at least no misdiagnosis with MS, which I think happened 10 years ago quite often. In your experience, what are some of the most effective coping strategies or self-care practices for managing the daily challenges of living with NMO?
Um, I would say our strategy, because it's not only mine. My family is involved as well in the strategies, because today I have to plan everything that I want to do in my life. If we are going to travel, going to parties, going to do anything, I have to plan. I have to take care of myself, like relaxing and not doing very much the day before we have a party, or having to plan how we are going to travel some days between our sightseeing. I don't know, everything that you do on when you are on vacation. I had to plan a day in between where I just can be relaxing and um, giving my body and mind a little bit of space to be able to continue,
Yes.
everything. Yeah.
Yes, and you mentioned, I think, very something very important, that it always, no matter if it's NMO and MS or any other disease, normally it affects the other people around you as well, and you have to plan, yeah, your energy management.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Sorry. Absolutely. But like sometimes that's the thing. You can not be that spontaneous anymore. Like sometimes my kids can come home and, hey, do you want to play anything? And sorry, but I can't, because maybe I have been training the whole day, and now I'm so tired that I can't sit around the table and play games with you. So they have to tell me, hey, on Friday, do you want to play some anything? Yes, let's do it. Then I have to plan before that. So everything has to be on a schedule.
yeah, yeah. It's, I guess, luckily your kids were a bit older already when you were diagnosed and when you had the symptoms. Is that
Yes,
correct?
our boy was 13 and our daughter was 17.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it was, yeah, but it's still, I felt like they were so small, even
Yeah.
they're not, but still they were needing me so much at that time. So for me, something that's what's one of my biggest concern when I realized how bad things was that time. It was thinking about my kids. Oh my God, how about them? They will be so sad thinking about that. Mom, I don't want to put this feeling in them. I don't want them to be sad because I am sick now. So, but that's the thing that made me fight and come back again. Because I had to be a mom again. I had to uh, fight for my kids.
Yes, absolutely. I think we do everything for our kids. And mine is not happy, so let me take her. Ah, let me take her up. So you are mentioning one important thing. So how important is the mental health and the emotional well-being for individuals with NMO, and what support is available in this regard?
Oh, mental health is everything with this disease. Um, I found out that remaining positive is a huge help in this condition, because when you are stressed or sad, or when things are not going good in your way, um, then you will the NMOSD will show up, will show its face, like feeling like fatigue. For me, it's like showing like fatigue, like brain fog and spasticity. So I have to take care of my mental health, and I do uh, I do yoga and meditation. It helps me very, very much finding energy and finding how to find energy again to do the things I want to do in my everyday life. Like if I want to help in the house, it sounds like a easy little thing, but it's not. Everything costs a lot of energy for me, so I can't just start a task and finish it. I have to take breaks, and in the breaks, I sometimes I find like 5 minutes or 10 minutes meditation on YouTube. It's a huge help. So I just lay down and give myself time to just relax and give myself a break, and then I can do things again.
Fantastic. Yes. And I'm trying to get an expert on meditation and mindfulness to the show. Let's see. He said already yes. Let's hope this interview will happen soon, because there's really some evidence-based data on this, that it can help a lot. And I think people like you and me and lots of our listeners have experienced this, that there is lots of potential in this.
For sure. I can be totally down with the fatigue, and then I can lay down and just sometimes I just close everything out, like all the stimuli, and just be in a room totally silence and totally quiet. I can feel that. Sometimes take 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. For me, it's good if I practice this like 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there, instead of taking 1 hour of sleep during the day. If I just take small breaks, it's better for me.
Yeah, sounds totally, makes totally sense. What types, let's talk a little bit about treatment and care in Denmark. What types of NMO immunotherapies and symptomatic treatments are more commonly recommended or accessible in Denmark?
Well, I have been on the rituximab since my first attack, and it works for me. It's very good for me. But I know there's another therapies out there for if the rituximab is not being good, is not being enough, and people still having relapses. So it will be another different types. But I can say for me, the rituximab has been 100%. Like I have been diagnosed for 6 years, and I only had the first attack, and 6 months later I had a small one again, and that's it. And I have been healthy since there.
Fantastic. So that's how it should be. Great. And fingers crossed it stays like this forever.
Oh yeah.
Would be lovely. Are there any specific laws or regulations in Denmark that protect the rights and promote the well-being of individuals living with neuromyelitis optica or other diseases? I mean, because you mentioned at the beginning you were fired in your job, so it seems at least there are some things that are not taken care of yet.
No, but with my job, it was they tried. They tried to give me some time to see if I could come back, and I had 2 months where I was just trying to work for a few hours once a week, and really, really trying. And after a certain point, even though it was painful to getting fired, it was the right thing for both for me and for the company, because I wasn't able to work anymore. My vision was not and still isn't good enough to work, to just the fact of I can drive anymore. I had to have people driving me to work, So I have to say they tried a lot, and I had to have this early what do you call
Early
retirement
retirement?
retirement, and it was tough on me because I was 49 years old at that time, and I was not ready for that. But when I look back today, it was the right decision. And I am happy that I had a system that could help me and take this decision on my behalf. It was a decision that was made by doctors and the healthcare system and a group of people who was taking care of me, because I can see today. I have some days, I have a moment where I feel, oh, everything will be okay, and I will be running again. I can do everything, and maybe just in the same day, a few hours later, I will be like, oh my God, I think I'm going to die.
Okay,
Does it make sense?
extreme.
Does it make sense? It's so extreme. It's not. I don't have this stability in my life that it's just in just one kind of way. Everything is just no. It's just ups and downs, and it can be in the same day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it sounds like the system was doing you or was doing good things to you. So the system was not bad, and it's fine. And
Yes,
you
absolutely. Denmark has one of the greatest healthcare system. Everything that I need, if I need a support for if psychologically or physical, or I have a physical therapist that I can go to once in a week. It's for free. I can just last month I was in Spain in a Danish hospital for 3 weeks doing physical rehabilitation, and the Danish government has this thing that they can send patients with disabilities to do a physical therapy and refine physical strength,
nice.
Yeah.
So it was probably a bit warmer.
It was good. It was, and sometimes the weather plays also a huge role in this. Like for me, I have neuro pain, and
Neuropathic pain.
yeah, neuropathic pain. And if it is too hot, it will be a problem. If it's too cold, it will be a problem. And I was lucky. That was very nice, the weather in Spain for me.
Sounds good. So can you share any recent advancements or developments in NMO treatment, care, or support in Denmark that you find particularly promising? I know that you have been to ECTRIMS. I saw pictures of you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, it was very, very exciting. And it's always good to hear the new things they are researching and doing, the recent things in the for both MS and now talking more and more about the NMO and MOGAD. So yes, they are talking about a lot of things, but one of them that was very, very interesting for me is that they are making research about the myelin being able to
Remyelinate?
remyelinate.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you. And this is, for me, it's like a dream. Because I know it's just a question of when, because they are so good today. They are experts on this field. So they will find out how to help us. I know it for that for sure. So, but we'll be so good to when this thing can come true for us.
Absolutely, and that's the same for us MS patients. So I think we are all looking forward to when this will happening. But of course, it's not an easy task, so it might take still a few years.
Yes.
Do you want to add anything on the healthcare system? I mean, you mentioned already quite a lot in Denmark, how it supports individuals living with NMO.
Yeah.
Maybe talking about the healthcare professionals that are typically involved in the care and management, and what role do they play? You mentioned already the physiotherapist and the psychologist.
Sorry, I can hear you.
You mentioned already,
go back.
you mentioned already the physicists and the psychologists that help you with the within the healthcare system. Are there any other specialists or professionals involved in your care in Denmark?
I don't know if I need more professionals in my healthcare. I would like to have a community only for the NMOSD. Like, it's good having, that a lot of things that are similar for MS and NMO, but still there are some differences. And will be good if we had more talking and more a community that was our own for the NMOSD. Like, my dream is that one day when people ask me what I have and I can say NMOSD and they tell me, oh, I heard about. Because I had never heard about NMOSD in my life. So I feel there's still a huge lack of information out there for the common people. For like we talk about MS, I know that the community is very small, and that's the thing. But still, even though we are a small community, we still need to be heard. We still need to hear it, be recognized. Hey, this is a disease. This is the NMOSD. And when we recognize you, we see you, we hear you, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's very important. So, are there any specific resources or support networks available for NMOS patients in Denmark or internationally, such as patient associations or community organizations?
Yes. In Denmark, we belong under the MS community. It is together. And I started myself a Facebook group where there's only for the NMOSD and MOGAD patients. And we meet once in a while online and talk about our issues and exchange experiences. And I know it's more on the internet today than it was when I was diagnosed. When I was diagnosed, it was this huge lack of information online. But today it is more. We have the Tomorrow Foundation. I have been part of Tomorrow Foundation for a long time, and it is amazing community with a lot of patients, and you can relate to,
Yeah, absolutely. And I had already some neurologists here on the show, and there will be more upcoming who are taking care of MS, but also NMOSD and MOGAD patients, and who are involved in the Zumara Foundation. Are there any specific initiatives or programs in Denmark that focus on raising awareness about neuromyelitis optica?
Unfortunately, I have to say that I don't know. The system does a lot of things for rare diseases and for NMO, but not not openly enough so I would know. It's not like maybe I'm not looking at the right places. I don't know. But no, I don't know.
Okay. And how can individuals with NMO in Denmark actively advocate for themselves and ensure that they receive the appropriate care, support, and accommodations?
I would say that the first thing is to educate yourself about your own disease so you know your rights and how to cope with this disease. So you are prepared to talk to doctors and nurses and yeah. And secondly, I would say that find a community. Try to find a community on social media. There's a lot of communities. Find a community because not feeling alone is, for me, was one of the things that helped me moving on after the diagnosis. I knew there was people out there that I could relate to and take reach out and take contact and ask questions. And I would love to maybe could meet somebody like me when I was diagnosed. I could talk to and ask questions.
Yes, can absolutely understand that. What role do family members and caregivers play in supporting individuals with NMO in Denmark, and what resources are available to support them, if any?
Yeah, they play a huge role. They are the ones who are supporting me and sometimes being a little bit after me so I can take care of myself and understanding me. So especially in the beginning, I needed to talk a lot about things. So they were listening to me and sometimes researching on my behalf and coming back with answers that I didn't have at that time. So they play a huge role in this. And I know that I don't know specifically in Denmark, maybe with the MS Society, but I know that we found support for the caregivers in the Samara Foundation.
That's good. What advice would you give to individuals with NMO in Denmark or internationally who may be feeling overwhelmed or discouraged? I mean, you mentioned how your first relapse looked like, and I guess that's quite a lot if you have such an impact from one day to the other. How can they maintain a positive outlook?
Um, it allowed yourself to feel what you feel, to listen to your body and try to remember that the bad days, they will always come and go away, but try to focus more on the positive days. This disease, yes, it can be very, very, very devastating, but this disease can also show us that we need to take care of ourselves. We need to listen to your body. We need to be more aware about our condition. I was every time I had, like, I can give you an example. When my fingers started being numb, I was working, and my first thought was, "Oh, this is nothing. Maybe it's because I was running too much yesterday. Maybe it's because I didn't sleep well." Finding excuses instead of listening to my body. I waited too long to search help. I started with the first symptoms in the morning, and I searched for help in the evening when my face was feeling numb. So listen to your body and trust in your feelings and fight for yourself. And when the doctors tell you that this is nothing, if you feel it's wrong, so just keep fighting, keep telling to your doctors they have to listen to you.
Yes, that's a very good tip. Leda, thank you very much for all that insight. Now we are coming to the quickfire Q&A session. Complete the sentence. For me, NMO is?
Oh, I thought a lot about this, and this is such a deep question. For me, NMO is like having a baby. You know, I have this child that I have to take care of all the time. I have to pay attention to the NMO. It's like having a baby again. I can just put away and think this not exists, because it will bite me at the end. it will
But
come it will come after me.
yeah,
So I
it's
have
just not as cute.
no, it's not cute at all. So but it is this thing. It's now I have to be aware about this every time, in everything that I do, in everything that I plan. So for me, I visualize things very, very much. So for me, it's like seeing I have this baby now, not cute baby, but I have to take care of it.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which website can you recommend for people living with NMOSD or MOGAD in Denmark?
In Denmark, we have the Facebook group called NMOSD/MOGAD Denmark, where people can be added to the group and participate and ask questions and talk. And then if you want to know more about from doctors, the Somaro Foundation has a lot of webinars in their on their website, and they have in so many different languages, inclusive Danish.
Fantastic. That sounds good. And may I ask how many participants are in that Facebook group, just to get an idea of how many people are already active for Denmark?
Yeah, I think we are like 70, 75 people in the group. Yeah.
Okay. So that's quite something. That's good. I guess that helps already with experiences. What development would you like to see in the field of NMO in the next 5 years?
I would like to see. Like I told you before, that there are so many things. One of the things is that this disease are known by people. Like it's not a strange thing. I don't know, when I say NMO, people look at me like, what are you talking about? I would like to this not being such a strange thing for people, and I would like to see more treatment for the things that the NMO does to us, like the managing the everyday with the pain and spasticity and fatigue, more of these things, because today we have treatments, so it would be good to not only having the treatment, but having treatment for the things the NMO does to us as well.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Makes sense, and yes, I would go with both of them. Would be lovely to have them to have that happening in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Finally, what message of hope or encouragement would you like to share with individuals living with NMOSD or MOGAD in Denmark?
I want to say you are absolutely not alone. We are here for you. I am here for you. If you need someone to talk, if you need to find community, if you have questions, please reach out to me, and I can show you in other communities and tell you about my experiences. Yeah.
Yes, that's good. Great. And so that people can reach out to you, how and where can interested people find you online later?
Oh, they can find me on, I am on all social media because this is the way I was advocating at the beginning. I was, when I was diagnosed, I felt completely alone, and I was tired of explaining about NMOSD to everybody. So I tried to tell my story on social media, putting myself out there and showing people how the NMOSD can be. So that's the way I started, and that's the way I met other people. So you can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me everywhere. I am always, every time I experience something different with the NMOSD, I am putting out there.
Fantastic. And of course, I will put all your references in the show notes and in the blog article so people can just click there if they don't find you, because sometimes I haven't checked it. I mean, we are connected on LinkedIn, but sometimes it's not so easy to find people. So I will bring it all in the show notes and the blog article. Leda, thank you very much for sharing your story. Thank you very much. Wow. I combined the German and the English. Thank you very much for doing everything you are doing for the community. And maybe we meet at one point in the future at ECTRIMS or so, or I come to visit Denmark again. I was just once in Copenhagen. And it was, I think, 2005. So quite a while ago. A beautiful city.
Yeah.
Absolutely lovely. And I haven't been to Europe. So yeah, thank you very much and take good care of yourself. And yeah, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Nell. Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed the interview and learned something new and how to deal with NMO best. And I think even if you have MS, there were quite some interesting tips of how to deal with a disease that is not easy. And NMO, like MOGAD, were considered to be MS a few years ago, but nowadays people know that these diseases are diseases by its own. By the way, next time it will be another episode about ECTRIMS, a special episode, and this time I will talk about the topics that were presented on discontinuation and de-escalation of therapies for MS, NMO, and MOGAD. So how dangerous or safe it is and what needs to be considered, and are there any biomarkers, so things you can test to know if somebody is in the right position to think about this. So please tune in again. Please recommend the podcast to who might be interested in it and rate it wherever you are listening to it. And of course, if you have any tips or requests on topics you would like to hear on the podcast, please let me know and write to me at nele@ms-perspektive.com. And please stay as healthy and positive as possible. And see you next time. Bye. Thank you for listening today. I hope you found it helpful. You may also be interested in the previously published episodes and posts, which you can find at ms-perspektive.com/podcast. Perspective with a K. You can also get a free PDF with 11 tips for your positive impact on MS at ms-perspektive.com/newsletter. If you'd like to get in touch, you can reach me at nele@ms-perspektive.com or on social media. See you next time.